graphic style, a calligraphic style.
Gaudete, Christus es natus, ex Maria Virgin Rei, gaudete.
Benedicat Domini, salus Regi nostra.
Gaudete, Christus es natus, ex Maria Virgin Rei, gaudete. Gaudete, Christus es natus, ex Maria Virgin Rei, gaudete.
But aside from the getting up aspect of aerosol culture, how else did he evolve as a writer?
In 1985 I read a book called Getting Up, which really changed my philosophies on the art form. And also by speaking to a couple of people from New York, I realised that having a New York influence wasn't necessarily the way to go. So I just cut myself off from a lot of the writers which I knew, and just started to look to my own influences and develop my own styles that way. So I got myself a letter book, looked at calligraphic influences. Then I just began to develop my own style before I came out. Then I began to look to other people such as Salvador Dali, the Swiss realist H.R. Geiger, as well as being influenced by the thoughts, philosophies and paintings of other writers such as Phase 2, Lee 163, Future 2000, Dundee, those. And then the more and more I began to cut myself off from other writers, the more I used to go inward and bring out what was a part of my true essence.
Around the mid-80s, the media and media-related companies who were looking for fresh blood in the form of the latest craze or in thing began courting writers like the Artful Dodoger, or AD as he prefers to be called nowadays. Other early crews such as the Chrome Angels and Non-Stop Arts also shared a part of the limelight for their 15 minutes of fame.
Do people appreciate it, do you find? Do you get antagonism because you're doing it on public buildings?
You get antagonism because it's like graffiti, tagged with the word graffiti, but a lot of people appreciate it as an art form because I see that most of the kids have got a certain amount of talent, so...
What sort of places employ you?
We've done nightclubs. I did Lenny Henry show a while ago. We've done Covent Garden boards, stuff for the GLC, that kind of thing.
Some writers have also resorted to putting together press packs and business cards as they compete with mainstream and commercial artists for a variety of commissions, with two of the many areas featured being in television and the music industry. Though most don't have formal training in the field of art or design, their fresh approach and non-conformist design sense can sometimes give them a guaranteed edge. The work of a Los Angeles-based writer called Slick was featured extensively in Ice Cube's video Who's the Mac? Slick, who's renowned for his characters, gave a visual impact to Cube's lyrics as he colourfully interpreted the words of the song.
Yeah, I did some videos for this rock band Extreme, but it was pretty cool working with those guys. You know, I'm not really familiar with the rock scene. We constructed a whole city. It was kind of crazy, you know. We even did this crazy moon, and you know, I said, I'm not really into the rock scene, but it was an interesting change, you know. No stencils, no little special stencil tips or nothing. It's just me, the can, and this tip, and the wall.
Through videos, record sleeves and backdrops, writers have been carefully integrated within the recording industry. Their involvement, however, doesn't stop there. Some, like Goldie and Massive Attack's 3D, have become equally successful, if not more so, as music producers. Even the Artful Dodoger made the move from DJing to producing rap music.
DJing is more or less in the past for me, even though I'm helping out Top Billing now and again. But I'm getting into producing. I've worked with Bomb the Bass. I'm doing a couple of demos at the moment with a guy called B-Sprint and another guy called Blade, and they're both from South East London.
Another former writer, Bunny, originally from the crew Non-Stop Artists, has set up a company dealing with customised clothing called Airheads, based in West London.
Do graffiti art on caps, t-shirts, sweatshirts, jeans, jackets, or anything, any sort of clothing that can be painted upon, you know. Really, that's what we're trying to supply, a service where we can retail to shops or actually do direct commissions. You know, so I'm still with the graffiti, you know, it won't die.
Painting aerosol designs onto clothing is just the tip of the iceberg where street fashion is concerned, because now there are an increasing number of aerosol writers designing their own clothing and setting up their own labels within the fashion industry. Clothing company on the King's Road and in the West End is a popular streetwear fashion store with a third store in Nottingham as well as links in New York and LA. Staying true to their aerosol influence is an important factor to them.
The graffiti imagery is very important when we actually buy the goods in. It's something that is like a #1 thing to us, and not only in the sense of it has to be graffiti. It has to be something either regards to the colour, the boldness that we attract to. And graffiti imagery, if you ever look around, is on a lot of the stuff in the shop. And even if it doesn't even look as graffiti as it does, the influences come from graffiti. You know, I mean, you can have a little walk around and you'll look at a lot of stuff and you'll think, oh, that's nice, but not a lot of kids would know that actually those ideas are born on the street, born on the subways, you know.
We asked Saab what type of custom frequents her Bad Apple store.
We get a lot of people coming from musical related industries or advertising or any media related field is automatically attracted to this shop. I personally think it's like the Bad Apple logo. It's a very, very big, bold, sharp statement in itself, in the sense the logo is attractive and also the design. These things, you see, the advertising is already done from graffiti around us in all our lives, you know. There's some everywhere, you know, whether it's on the toilet door you're entering or, you know, whether it's something you scribbled earlier on in your book and you've, like, done your name, you know. So when you see something like that on a T-shirt or something which is individual with colour, big and bold, you actually want some of it, if not, you know, whether it's a simple hat, a T-shirt, a pair of jeans now, you know.
With our appetite for bright colours and the type of visual imagery that our subconscious minds can relate to, it's no wonder that advertising consultants have also sought to jump on the aerosol bandwagon. Walton of Walton & Wiggins Advertising Consultants made use of a writer in a series of ads for the South Thames Training Enterprise Council aimed at 16 to 18-year-olds. But in using aerosol art for a major campaign, were there any initial reservations?
We discussed it as, would it be seen as supporting, you know, graffiti on the tubes and all that sort of stuff. And we thought, as long as we did something which was positive, it's really an art form rather than graffiti. And the guy that did the work for us always referred to it as street art, not graffiti. And I think graffiti is the word that's been used to drive it down in terms of its merit.
Were you looking for
the overall response, I believe, from South Thames Training Enterprise Council was very good. Everybody at South Thames Tech liked the work. They had the pictures framed, they're hanging on the walls. The response from guys and girls on the street, I think, was quite good. I don't actually have the figures to hand, but some training places were actually filled, which is good. To be honest, when we first started to look for styles, I didn't realise there were so many styles available. And it was a learning curve for me to realise that wherever people come from, there was actually a different language, different graphic language and different styles for West London, East London, South London and everywhere else.